About 10 months ago, I took my first look at a G&L Tribute model when I compared the Tribute Legacy to the USA Legacy. Now today I'm looking at another one with a compelling feature set, the G&L Tribute ASAT Classic Bluesboy. Seeing a Telly-style guitar with a humbucker in the neck position, I'm sure the vast majority are going to think of Keith Richards. But being a blues guy, the player that first comes to my mind is the great Albert Collins. But whatever comes to mind, it's always been a cool Telly mod that makes for a very versatile guitar. Now this is the current model, which sells for $550 in the US. Built in Indonesia, it certainly looks well put together and finished. Now specs are typical for this type of guitar. The body is poplar, the neck is maple, and the fingerboard is rosewood. Now the neck has an average 60s-like medium C profile that will be comfortable for the majority of players. Nut width is 1.625 inch or about 42 millimeters. This is the width most commonly found on vintage Fenders. And it's been G&L's most common width as well, though I have been noticing a trend toward 43 millimeters for the USA models lately. Now the nut material is listed as bone, which is a nice traditional choice. The fingerboard radius is 9.5 inches, definitely the most common radius for modern Fender-style guitars, and like the majority of modern electrics, the frets are listed as medium jumbo. Now the bridge is the traditional box steel design, but rather than the 3 saddles of the vintage Telly, this one has 6 individual brass saddles. Honestly, this strikes me as best of both worlds. You still get the sound of the brass saddles, but with better intonation. Now this neck humbucker is an Alnico unit, and like all Tribute pickups that aren't the G&L MFD design, it's made by Cort. The bridge pickup, however, is the Leo Fender designed magnetic field coil pickup, and those are made in Fullerton, California. Now just a word about the MFD pickups. I personally think they're great, but if you're after the twang of vintage Fender pickups, well, they aren't really that. Leo set out to improve on his old designs, and he created a great sounding pickup. But for many players, the old sound is baked into their psyche, and nothing else will do. Now I totally get that, but I do my best to be open to anything that just sounds good. I measured the resistance and got 8.1K for the neck and only 6.1K ohms for the bridge, which is interesting, but in practice, they actually balance pretty well. Well, I have to say this guitar plays quite a bit nicer than the Tribute Legacy I looked at. The all-important fretwork is very good. This did come from a dealer that does a basic setup before shipping them out, but they don't tend to go as far as fret leveling. Still, there really wasn't much I needed to do. There was just a tiny bit more relief in the neck than I prefer, and I did fine-tune the action, setting the saddles to more accurately follow the neck radius. But really, it played more than adequately right out of the box. Now for me, I find this bridge pickup sounds best with the tone control rolled off a little bit. But the neck humbucker gets a bit woolly unless the tone control is wide open. Now to be fair, this is fairly normal for T-style guitars with a humbucker in the neck, but I would prefer a little brighter neck humbucker. While there's no shortage of similar guitars at this price point, this one does seem comparable to most of the competition. Now, I'm not in love with this particular humbucker, but it's certainly not bad, and you could always replace it with a pickup of your choice, which would be a really simple job. Now, otherwise, it's nicely built with a real rosewood fingerboard, solid hardware, and very good playability. Definitely worth considering. Well, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you again very soon.